had to listen, and so did you, had to listen to so much about the electability of Joe Biden. Oh, if you're worth your salt, you'll support Joe Biden because he's the most electable. Well, if you're the most electable, wouldn't it mean you'd win the elections? Like, yeah, if you're the most electable, you should be the winner. Guys, I'm trying to tell you, I don't think they know what they're talking about, or either they're trying to manufacture our consent. First things first, my name's Joe Biden. I'm the best thing since Running Water. First best thing since sliced bread. Best thing that ever took place, ever happened in America, happened because of Joe Biden and the Barack Obama legacy. And the second thing is when me and Jill, when I was younger, we used to do this thing. We used to go outside, stand there. We'd look around. We'd say, okay, where we want to lead the country? Okay, then I start leading the country. Then I start running. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm just talking. Because third thing's this. Here it is, man. Here it is. Come on, man. This is what I'm telling you, man. Let's do some push-ups, some sit-ups. Let's do some jumping jacks. Let's do some calisthenics. Let's do some wet yoga, some dry yoga. Let's do some yoga. You ever do upward, down dog, downward, upward dog? Let's do that. Let's get it going. There's a bad boy, man. He was a bad boy. Some bad boys out there with popcorn, with the afro sheen. There's some bad stuff going on, and that's why when I'm out of time. So Joe Biden. Everyone was saying Joe Biden was great. Everyone was saying Joe Biden was fantastic. I disagree. As I stated earlier, I believe if you are truly the most electable, then you will get the most votes in the elections. Until then, you haven't earned the right to be called. It's like, I'm the strongest person here. Can you lift more than everyone? No. Then you're not the strongest person here. I'm the smartest person here. Did you score higher on the test? No, I didn't.
On the eve of the New Hampshire debate, Senator Bernie Sanders held a news conference declaring a win in the Iowa caucuses.
So what I want to do today, 3 days late, is to thank the people of Iowa for the very strong victory they gave us.
He's not the only candidate insisting he's on top.
It has been an extraordinary week, and we are absolutely electrified.
Fact is, tonight, Iowa remains too close to call. The DNC chair now declaring enough is enough, calling for a full recanvass of the entire vote.
Do you trust the DNC to get involved in this process?
I think, let me just simply say this, that what happened in Iowa was a disaster.
One candidate is eager to leave the caucuses in the past. Former Vice President Joe Biden now sharpening his attacks on Sanders.
He calls himself a democratic socialist. Well, we're already seeing what Donald Trump is going to do with that.
Do you think Joe Biden is going too far?
Joe is a friend of mine. We're in the midst of a campaign. I look forward to debating him tomorrow night.
All right, Whit Johnson live here in Manchester tonight. And Whit, you're learning this evening that Joe Biden has actually left New Hampshire and traveled home to Delaware to prepare for the debate right here tomorrow night.
David, that's right. Biden admits he took a gut punch in Iowa. He's now huddled up with his closest advisors in Delaware. They are promising an aggressive Biden tomorrow night. Another candidate who needs to make a stand here in New Hampshire, Elizabeth Warren. We saw her out campaigning today. She's also hoping for a strong debate. David?
Don't need me to tell you that. I'll be moderating with...
There you go. There you go. Yeah, Joe Biden says, hey, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I took a gut punch in Iowa. Yeah, you sure did, Joe. Didn't crack top 2. That's right. Came in 4th. Damn it, I forgot. Doggone tootin'. Oh, Tim Black, how could you forget about me? I'm Senator Elizabeth Warren, and I'm in this fight. That's the type of fight I like. The type of fight where I can make Joe Biden kiss my bumper. That's right. You milked that head. I told ya I was going to do it. I said, Timberlake, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to beat the brakes off of Joe Biden. Never liked him much. He sold us out back when I was a strong progressive, before I became what I am now, which is a malformed, some type of concoction. I don't really know what I am. But before, when I was a progressive, I was fighting a good fight. Joe Biden was in bed with Wall Street. Yeah, he was. I beat the brakes off Joe Biden up there in Iowa. I'm going to beat the brakes off of him some more. I think I'll just keep beating all his brakes off. I'm going to go to my room. You know that room. I'm going to grab that dress, lay that dress out on the bed. You know the dress I'm talking about, Tim Black? The dress with the gun in it. I'm going to pull that gun out. I'm going to shoot down Joe Biden. I shot him down in Iowa. That's right. Joe was talking all that smack. You want to do some push-ups? You want to do some sit-ups? Somebody just punched him in the stomach. Bam! Okay, I'm in fourth place. I think he got what he deserved, man. I think he got what he deserved. And make no mistake about it, if Bernie would have came in fourth place, they would be like, why is he still in the race? Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Chuck Todd, come on, man. Why? I'm just trying to figure out, why is Bernie sticking around? Oh, come on, you guys know I'm telling the truth, man. You know I'm telling the truth. I'm keeping it 100. If Bernie Sanders would have came in fourth place like Joe Biden, oh my God, can you imagine Joy Reid? I'm trying to understand why Joe Biden's even in this. I'm sorry. I'm trying to understand why Bernie Sanders is even in this. I don't get it. I don't get why he's even here. Bernie should drop out. What is Bernie doing? Why is Bernie doing this to the country? It's always been selfish. I'm sorry. He's always been selfish. It's always been about him. That's why he's staying in the race. It's obvious. That's all he cares about. Him and his wife. They just care about themselves. This is a rape play. I repeated 2016 all over again. And it's obvious that he's not going to win the nomination. He's staying in it for selfish reasons. Yeah, that's what they would be saying, Johnson. Yeah, they're probably saying it now. So what, he came in first place? He should get out the race. Why is he still in it? He only won Iowa. He only got 6,000 more votes than anybody else. Obviously, he can't win. Why is he even in it? Makes no sense, Johnson. But since it's Joseph Biden, hey, I tried to cut Social Security 4 times. Not once I tried to cut it. I tried to not only cut Social Security, I tried to cut everything that people depend on to feed themselves. I tried to cut it not once, not twice, not 3 times, 4 times I tried to cut Social Security. Then you play it back to him 20 years later, he's like, that's not me. Joe, so your lips are moving and the words are coming out. I don't listen. That's a damn lie. You're a damn liar. I'm not saying that. What I was saying, if you let the tape keep playing, I was reciting a poem. A poem about love and about conquering the world and about the spirit of America and how we need to all come together, and how in Charlottesville a man said there was evil on both sides and we need to restore the moral fabric of this country. God damn it, man. I'm trying to help you get to the point. We need to just restore. First things first we need to do is we need to restore the moral fabric of America. Second, we need to make me vice president again. I can go back in time and erase the tapes of everything I said back when I was in the Senate, when I was a bigoted racist, the segregationist, when I was doing those things I shouldn't have been doing. Now, the third thing is I need to do more push-ups and sit-ups, and I need to control and guard my stomach. When the gut punches come, I need to block them in. I need to block them. That's why I'm that sedentary fat. That's why, anyway, Joe Biden's a special creature. He's a very special creature. What you need to know is that there's a double standard in the Democratic Party, and that double standard is very simple. If you're a progressive candidate, you are garbage. To the establishment, you are garbage. That's what you need to know. And see, when I see these things, I get upset, and I'm sure you get upset too. But what you need to do is take heart. Oh yeah, take heart. When people come for you, and believe me, I know what it's like to be come for. I know what it's like for people to come for you. I know what it's like to have people come at you. It's not good. It doesn't feel good, right? But the thing you got to keep in mind is you ask yourself why. Okay, why are they coming for you? And in this case, they're coming for you because you're fighting a good fight. Because what we're doing, because Bernie Sanders, his campaign, and the progressives, we're trying to take back our government from the oligarchs. We're trying to wrestle it from the stingy the degenerate, corrupt hands of corporations that mean us no good. The sole purpose of a corporation typically is to make as much money as humanly possible. That's what it is. It's an entity that just feeds on profits and to make money for its shareholders. That's the purpose of a corporation. We can't have corporations running our social programs. We can't have corporations deciding what our laws are, because they'll decide laws that incarcerate more people so that the prison corporation, the private prison corporations, can make more money. So we can't allow it. We have to fight back against it. And I know it's daunting. I know it's frustrating. I know it can crush your spirit. But the bottom line is, what else you gonna do? Smoke weed till you forget all the problems? Well, eventually, for you to be a functional human being, you have to sober up, and then guess what? Hi, the problems are still there. There's more proof that Joe Biden been sliding. Here goes my second clip on Joe Biden and how bad the slide is and how people are really noticing and people are calling Joe Biden out and how far it goes. Check it out.
Morning, you've been covering the primary campaign there. With the updated Iowa results, are any candidates changing their strategies?
A little bit, Tony. Good morning. There are just a few days left until Tuesday's primary, so no time to waste. And former Vice President Joe Biden especially is trying to distinguish himself from fellow moderate Pete Buttigieg. He did so in part by discussing something last night that he rarely discusses in public.
Looking in the mirror with a flashlight in my face because you get embarrassed because you can torch your face, and it's embarrassing.
While opening up extensively about his stutter as a child, former Vice President Joe Biden made a passionate plea.
We just have to reach out a little more for people, man. We don't do it enough. We've got to heal this country.
Earlier, he'd admitted political vulnerability after a poor showing in Iowa.
I am not going to sugarcoat it. We took a gut punch in Iowa.
Biden then focused his attention on his opponents, especially former Mayor Pete Buttigieg.
It's a risk, to be just straight up with you, for this party to nominate someone who's never held an office higher than mayor of a town of 100,000 people in Indiana.
The former vice president is hoping the contrast makes a difference in New Hampshire, as the Iowa results so far show 38-year-old Buttigieg was able to find broad support across the state, especially in rural counties and across all age groups. But close behind Buttigieg is Bernie Sanders, who's polling at the top in New Hampshire.
We're going to end the divisiveness in this country, and we're going to bring people together.
Whoever is the eventual Democratic nominee knows they'll need to try reconstructing the Obama coalition, a broad alliance of voters who came from different backgrounds.
She's a janitor's daughter who has become one of the country's fiercest advocates for the middle class.
That explains why Biden is no longer the only one claiming to be the heir to the former president's legacy.
Mayor Bloomberg and President Obama worked together in the fight for gun safety laws.
Bloomberg will not be joining fellow contenders on the debate stage here in New Hampshire tomorrow night, the only debate before the primary, but he might end up on a debate stage in Nevada or South Carolina later this month, now that the DNC has changed its rules and eliminated a requirement that candidates have certain donors. Gail, of course, the multi-billionaire Bloomberg is paying for his campaign all by himself.
Yes.
Just a side note, Gail, go to hell. Okay? Go to hell. You know, you had 17 years to ask people what they thought about Kobe Bryant. Maybe you should have asked when he was alive. All right, so now, back to this. And I want to look at a couple of these things that were said I meant to say. Also, Tom Perez is a scumbag. Man, Tom Perez is a scumbag. We need to get him out immediately, if not sooner. If he was fired before the end of my broadcast, that wouldn't be quick enough. Tom Perez now is so underhanded and backstabbing that he had no problem with how bad the count was all this time until now that Bernie Sanders has won. Now he's like, we need to recount everything. We need to get out of here. We need to recount all the votes. We need to recount everything. Everything needs to be recounted. We need to go back. We need to go back and make sure, because I don't understand. Y'all never heard Tom Perez. Hey, no, I need it. He sounded like Fred Sanford. I think and we need to get out of here. We need to get over here. I was working the grill, and they told me I need to run for DNC chair. I didn't want to run for the DNC chair. I wanted to sit out there, and I wanted to barbecue, but they said, you got to do it, because I let you be let you work in my administration, what was he, Secretary of Commerce or something like that. For Obama, they came and got him, made him run to kneecap Keith Ellison. Tom Perez is a scumbag. Horrible. Horrible. We got to get rid of this guy. This guy does not need to be in public life. All right, so that's one thing I want to point out. Also, Biden's going back to talking about his 65-year-old stuttering problem. Woo! Talking about got to go far back to try to garner sympathy. Joe, you haven't stuttered since you were 6. We really got to sit through this shit, man. Just because you lost Iowa, now everyone has to hear about. We got to hear this as if you care, man. Come on, man. Come on, dog. Give everybody free health care. No! That would help people with stuttering problems and other deficiencies, other issues. You know, health care, the ability to go to the doctor, get a therapist. You know what I'm saying? Not, you don't want to do that, though. But you want to have... See, that's the whole point, guys. He wants to use an issue. I'm not saying it's not a valid issue, but we all know he's using it in order to pander to the audience because he just got his ass mopped in Iowa, and he's an embarrassment. And his whole thing was about how electable he is. Now he's throwing dirt. Hey, dude, yes, he is going for the neck of Pete Buttigieg because, as he said in his own words, I took a gut punch. Now, you didn't take a gut punch. Pete Buttigieg ran up on you and shanked you in your gut. He stabbed you in the stomach. He left your innards laying there. In Iowa, you don't have in the lower intestine anymore, Joe. You're a dead man walking. That's what's going on, Joe Biden. And now he's going after Pete rather directly. Well, I don't want to say this is going to get me in trouble, but I just got to say it. You know, we put ourselves in a bad situation. We think we're going to beat Trump with a mayor. As mayor of a small town, there's less than 100,000 people in the small town. We can't think he can run the country. He can do the highest office in the land after being a mayor of a small town. Well, yeah, Joe, yeah. I think he's horrible too, but I think you're also horrible. So there we go. We got 2 horrible candidates. Neither one are going to win. He said that Donald Trump's going to be calling him a democratic socialist, going to use that socialist thing. You know, that's what Trump's going to use against Bernie Sanders, and that would be a reason for us not to nominate Bernie Sanders because, you know, he's got to deal with Trump calling him names. Joe, I don't know if you thought about this, but there are a lot of names and there are a lot of things that Trump can use against you. I mean, I'm just going out on a limb here. You got more than a couple things yourself there, Johnson. You know, that people can use, like, I don't know, creepy. Yeah, creepy. Creepy be a good one. And this whole Ukraine business, people can say you're not corrupt, but it's close enough to corruption. It's like right around the corner from corruption. I mean, nepotism is disgusting, and people don't like it, and it just screams elitism. Your son, at the very least, got the hookup. People don't like that. When rich people hook up their kids, especially their kids, Joe, you got so much dirt on you, Joe. I want Bernie Sanders to win the nomination. That goes without saying. That's what I want. But I would also love, in an alternate universe, to hear Donald Trump go after Joe Biden on mass incarceration, on NAFTA, on the Iraq vote, on Yemen, on a bouquet, a virtual smorgasbord. We're talking about the Golden Corral buffet of all the horrible, dumb, backward, corrupt, deceptive crap Joe Biden's done in his life. One of my favorites is how Joe Biden, at the same time, he was locking up black kids for having a little bit of weed, giving them Rockefeller numbers for a little bit of crack. Joe Biden's own son was getting a slap on the wrist for getting caught with cocaine. You didn't think I knew about that one, did you, Joe? Here goes the secret, Joe. It's not a secret. I didn't even do opposition research. You don't think Trump knows, everybody know? Like, you don't think people know? Like, people have been nice to you, Joe. You suck. Listen, man. People been nice to you, kissing your ass. They haven't dragged you. You're very draggable. The only way you could be more draggable is if you had handles coming out of your shoulder blades that fit perfectly in the hands. You are very draggable, Joe. You're like a slip and slide. You put the water on it, you're running. Whee! You are very draggable, Joe. I don't want you to be the nominee, but I would love for you, because I know you're a lie, but even you won't be able to lie rapidly enough to cover up this stuff, man.